Welcome to 80s in the Sand.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3. Good morning, Heidi. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm wonderful. How are you?
Good. I'm kind of getting excited to be back in my own place here. We had so much fun. We were at a place called Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. Did this little event called 80s in the Sand. This was our third year going, and I think this was the best year. I mean, every year is awesome.
It was amazing.
Every year was awesome. But we're going to tell you some tales from the road today. And then we're going to be back to our regular program tomorrow. But we're going to kind of tell you some tales from the road today. So coming up, here are the stories that I want to share today. So I want to share...
I already know what we're telling.
Well, Heidi's fishing excursion will be the last one, because to me that is just the funniest doggone story. So that'll be the last one. I also got to talk about how you pounced on poor Tone Loc at breakfast time. And then, what is we got to share at least one more. What was another fun story of things that happened while we were at 80s in the Sand? We had so much fun. There's so many things. I'm trying to think of things that are radio appropriate that we can talk about. Well, we'll definitely think of. I know we can talk about some of the 80s artists that we had a chance to meet. So we'll do that. So we've got several fun things coming up. It's our Tales from the Road edition, and like I said, we'll be back to our regular program tomorrow. But thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour on Sunny 93.3.
Before you know it, Christmas will be here. Are you ready? If you plan to use a credit card while shopping, make sure you have the very best credit card for you. It's free to click around and see what we can do for you at bettercreditcards.net. We have options from many different banks and different credit card companies who put out their best offers to earn your business. See if we can help you get a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net. Bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Sunny 93.3, thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour. We have been on the road for a week, and as much as I'm excited to be home, because it's just nice to be home, sure did like the weather in Punta Cana a lot better.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It was so amazingly beautiful, but I will say I did sleep so well.
Yeah, the last couple nights being home. Here's the thing. I felt really bad I think it was Wednesday when the weather was really bad back here. Is that when it was? Wednesday? Okay. Anyway, I was, I'm the social media guy for the station here, so I was posting the winter weather advisories on Facebook, and then as soon as I finished posting it, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go back out and join Heidi at the pool. I was like, I kind of feel bad about this, but I'm over it. So, coming up in a bit, we're going to share the Tone Loc story. We had breakfast with Tone Loc last week, and then also going to share the story about Heidi's fishing excursion. She probably won't be a deep-sea diver. But right now, I thought it was really funny. We were walking back the very first night that there were concerts. So it would have been I think it would have been Monday. I think it was a week ago. Trying to figure out who are we going to talk to for the radio program tomorrow morning. We were going to record some artist interviews, and then we just never had a chance to do it.
We were just having too much fun. We really weren't even thinking.
It was a blast. Yeah. So much fun. So we're walking back, and we bump into Diane Franklin's daughter. Now, she is an actress as well. Her name is Olivia, and she's just a sweetheart. So we did an interview with her. So that was just kind of just happened to fall together. And then we're going to our room. We're walking up to our room, and we see the lead singer of Kix, looking at room numbers.
Trying to figure out where in the world he is. He was clearly lost.
And we're like,
poor guy.
Can we help you find something? He's like, I'm trying to find 46, whatever his number was.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, that's over there. And I was like, hey, would you record an interview with us? And he was like, yeah, that's cool. So I'm like, how awesome was that we just happened to bump into?
He was so nice.
Super nice guy.
Everybody is amazing.
But that's the cool thing about 80s in the Sand is you do just bump into these people.
Yeah, you do.
We were sitting there having breakfast one morning, and the people at the table next to us, same morning that we met Tone Loc, the people at the table next to us is like, I think that's one of the bands, but I didn't recognize them. It was Glass Tiger. The Canadian band.
Yep.
Because on stage that night, they're up there singing. I'm like, they were having breakfast right next to us. So that is the cool thing about it. And then Debbie Gibson. Heidi had a chance to meet Debbie Gibson and got her photo taken with her.
Debbie Gibson.
It was everything about it. It was so much fun. If you have not yet had a chance to go to the website, I encourage you to do that. Check it out, 80sinthesand.com. You'll see a bunch of other photos. We've got some on our Facebook page, but there's a bunch more. 80sinthesand.com. Coming up in a moment, I'm going to share a couple of stories before our bonus hour is done. We're going to talk about Heidi having breakfast with Tone Loc, and then we're also going to talk about Heidi's fishing excursion gone wrong.
Why are all the stories about me?
Because your stories are... We can talk about the time John was working in the shade, or the time John was in the room and you were looking for me. What was I doing? Oh, I was working. It's hard for me to unplug. But we've got some fun stuff on the way. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour on Sunny.
If you have a drug problem, don't let it ruin your life. You can be in treatment as soon as tomorrow, and you can start to get clean in as little as 7 days. Take the first step to get drugs out of your life at timeforrehab.com. Your insurance may cover everything, so you really have nothing to lose. Timeforrehab.com. Start your new life. You deserve it. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3. Music right there from Tone Loc. I had to play that song because we got this story to share right now. So while we were at 80s in the Sand last week, my beautiful bride Heidi over here likes to indulge in some tropical beverages from time to time. And that particular evening, you had a couple drinks. And we get up to the room where they have the music, and there's hundreds of people in this room, and we missed the first band. We walked in to just kind of catch the very tail end of Shannon. She was phenomenal, by the way. And then it's time for Tone Loc. And it was so funny because there was a big guy who everybody, like all day long, I had people saying, hey, have you seen Tone Loc? And they thought he was Tone Loc. It was not. It turns out he was Tone Loc's bodyguard. But then he has like the hype man that was back playing music, his DJ. He's like, everybody get ready. Okay, say one time, Punta. I'm going to say Punta, you say Cana. So it's like, Punta, Cana, Punta, Cana. And everything's getting all hyped up. And then finally, and this big guy that everybody thought was Tone Loc was going back and forth on the stage for no particular reason. Was that kind of weird?
It was weird.
Like he's walking over here, and he's walking over there, and I'm like, is he lost? What is he doing up there? I have no idea what he's doing. He looks lost. And then the guy's like, you guys ready for Tone Loc? And everybody, oh yeah! And then this other guy walks out, and it was the dude that was walking back and forth was not Tone Loc; it was his bodyguard. So then the actual real Tone Loc comes out, and he goes, "Hey, Punta Cana!" And then Heidi looks at me, she goes, "I need to meet him." I was like, "What?" She's like, "I got to meet Tone Loc." I'm like, "You're a fan of Tone Loc?" Oh yeah. We've been married almost 20 years at this point. We've known each other over 20 years. I knew that you liked Tone Loc because, we play his music here on Sunny, but I had no clue you were a super fan until that night. And when you're drinking, you were a super, super fan. So I did everything I could to keep her from making a fool of herself. So we made sure that we didn't accidentally meet Tone Loc when she had been drinking. But then the next morning, it was so fun because we had gone to the same place for breakfast every single morning, right on the beach. You can literally look out into the ocean while you're having breakfast, which is cool. I mean, that's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, God, it was amazing. And
it was right by our room. So then Heidi said, I have an idea. Let's go up to the other restaurant for breakfast. And I'm going to be honest, I just didn't want to walk that far. So I was like, no, we got to go to this one over here. And you're like, we have been to that one every morning. Let's go to that. And then that's when my John brain clicks in and I say, but Tone Loc is going to be at this one down here. Now, I had no idea if Tone Loc was going to be there or not. But Heidi said, oh, okay. So we walk in and get a table. And it was, 5 minutes later?
If even.
Tone Loc comes in and he sits down by himself.
Right next to us.
Yeah, right next to us. And then Heidi's going,
it was amazing.
You should ask him if he wants to sit with us. And I said, just leave the guy alone. I don't think he probably wants to sit with us. He's content by himself. And she's like, no, I think we should see if he wants to sit with us. So I had to go over and ask him, excuse me, Mr. Loc, like I didn't know exactly what to say. Would you like to have breakfast with us? And
Mr. Loc.
We had a great little chat, and then Heidi got to come over and get her photo taken with him. But it was so much fun. And I can't tell you what a kind man he was. I can't say enough good things about him just being such a kind person, because there are some people that we've had a chance to meet that are not necessarily.
Yeah, where you walk away disappointed. I was definitely not disappointed with Tone Loc.
Fantastic. And he was just one of the many awesome people we had a chance to meet. Got a chance to meet Greg Kinn from the Greg Kinn Band. We're going to play some music from him here in just a little bit as well. Also, we got a chance to just see a ton of awesome people. But then this is the neat thing. When you look at the poster and you look at the website for 80s in the Sand, you see all the artists that you know, but what you don't understand is if you go to this, you will actually look forward to seeing people you don't even know right now. Because we have like a whole extended family that we've met there.
Oh my gosh, we have family everywhere, and they are
the coolest people ever.
The coolest people on the planet.
And it's not like going on a different, like a regular vacation. It's like going to the coolest class reunion in the world, and everybody gets along. And it's just so much fun. And this was our third year of going to 80s in the Sand. So this coming year, 2020, is going to be the fourth year. We're absolutely planning on going, and I hope that you'll join us too. If you want to, reach out to us. We'll hook it up where we can all kind of even have our rooms by each other. But I would love to have a huge Sioux Falls showing at 80s in the Sand 2020.
Absolutely. It's going to be the best week of your life.
It is just, and they've already announced some of the bands. Cheap Trick is going to be there. There's a rumor that the guy in charge of the event, he said on stage, I cannot confirm, but he was shaking his head yes the whole time. I cannot confirm that Billy Idol will be there next year. And Billy Idol was playing on the screen behind him, but he said, I cannot confirm it. And he was shaking his head yes.
So Billy Idol, I'm pretty sure is going to be there this coming year.
If you have not yet had a chance to look at the website, and this is our last day of like pitching this as hard as we're pitching it, back to our regular programming tomorrow. But today I just said, you know what? I absolutely think we need to make sure everybody knows, like a year in advance, all of the fun we had. And if you get a chance to join us next year, it will be the time of your life. If you have questions, 80sinthesand.com is their website. But if you want to call us and say, hey, tell me a little more about this, I'll gladly tell you. And
if there's a promo code, so if you mention the John and Heidi Show, you save quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
So
and I'm going to tell another tale from 80s in the Sand here in a bit. I've got the Heidi fishing excursion story. It's one of my favorites. It's coming up. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on Sunny 93.3.
The average household has thousands of dollars in credit card debt. If you find yourself in that position and you're making minimum payments, you could be in debt for a long time. Make sure you have the very best card with the very best rates at bettercreditcards.net. We work with different banks and different credit card companies who put out their best offers to earn your business. See if we can help you get a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net, bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Hey, this is Greg Kinn, and I wanted to thank you for listening. Let's rock.
If you can't have a drink without it leading to another drink and another drink, maybe it's time to get help. There are programs designed to help take alcohol out of your life for good at timeforrehab.com. Don't let a drinking problem spill over into other areas of your life. Get help to quit drinking and start living the life you truly deserve at timeforrehab.com. Your insurance may cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. The John and Heidi Show bonus hour coming to a close. Then we'll be back to our regular program here. And tomorrow, the regular John and Heidi Show bonus hour will be back. We'll have Dan Farris back in the studio tomorrow.
And Ranger Dan will be back
Ranger
in the
Dan.
studio.
All of the fun stuff will be resuming tomorrow. But today, I just thought we had to tell some of these stories because I don't know where else we're going to tell them. And one of the funniest ones to me was before we leave for this, like a month ago, Heidi says to me, hey, do we have plans for Tuesday? And I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, Tuesday, during 80s in Sand, do we have plans? They did this new thing this year called No FOMO Tuesday, no fear of missing out. So they had one day with a much lighter schedule so you could go on some of the cool excursions. I was like, I have no plans. We do whatever you want to do. She said, we're going to go fishing with Ryan. Now, you got to understand, Ryan is somebody who we met in 2017, the first day of the event, the first night of the event, the first event of the event.
And is now family and one of our dearest friends.
We get in the pool for this foam pool party, and we met Ryan.
Guy.
Like, within 5 minutes of being there, now he's like a brother. I mean, awesome dude. She's like, we're going to go fishing with Ryan. And I'm thinking, we don't even go fishing at home. I was like, you sure you want to do that? She's like, it's going to be great. We're going to get to, go drink and eat on a boat. It's going to be awesome. And I'm thinking, eating and drinking on a boat doesn't sound like a good plan. So we get to this boat, and Heidi and I hadn't even talked about, like, what this experience was going to be like. We were going to do it. She, in her mind, had a whole different plan of what this was, didn't you?
I did.
What did you think it was going to be?
I thought it was going to be a much larger boat, and that
like
there would be not a cruise. No, I was expecting
like the Queen Mary at Okoboji?
Maybe about that size, maybe a little smaller than that.
You ever seen anybody fishing off the Queen Mary?
But I was expecting it to be like the whole upper level would have plenty of seating, and there would be a bar up there.
Here's what it was.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen
It
Wicked
was
Tuna,
just a
it was that boat.
boat.
Yeah, that's what it was. So we get on this boat with a couple of doctors from Texas. Super awesome, nice people.
Everybody was awesome.
And their wives were with them, and there was a couple other people that were with. So there's just a small group of us. We go on. And the guy, Ryan, the guy that was going to go, the glue that held us all together, like the common thread that knew all of the people on this boat, hurt his knee playing volleyball and didn't come with us.
He couldn't come because he was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to stand up
literally,
on that boat.
it's a bunch of strangers.
And I was telling him, well, yeah, you can. You'll be fine. You'll be, I mean, just sit down. He would have not been
Well, it
able
would
to
have been
stand up on
terrible
that boat.
because the boat bops around a lot. So anyway.
He clearly knew more about what I was getting into than I knew.
So we get on this boat. At first, Heidi and I start out down on the main level. And there were like gas fumes from the motor that were kind of in that, because you're sitting right by the motor. And I said, I'm going to go up on the top. So I'm sitting up on the top talking to these young ladies that are both on there. We're catching fish. You know, every time that there's a fish, they're asking if, hey, John, you want to reel this one in? And I was like, no. And one of these young ladies watches the show Wicked Tuna.
Right.
So we were talking about the times that I've had a chance to visit with some of the people from that show doing interviews. And they say, John, it's your turn. And I said, no, it's Wicked Tuna's turn. So she got to go down. And then the next time they say, John, it's your turn. I said, no, let's Heidi gets to do this one. And they're like, what are you talking about? I said, I think it's time for Heidi to reel one in. And they're like, Heidi's down in the bathroom. She's sick. I had no clue. I'm up on the top of this boat, just having the time of my life. Heidi's in the dungeon of this boat.
Yes, I was.
Not feeling good. So I go down there and I open the door. Just enough to kind of peek in, and it was quite a sight. It looked like somebody sprayed you with a hose filled with pea soup. And mascara smeared all over her face, sweating like crazy, not feeling well. And I was like, you okay? She's like, no, I'm not okay.
I didn't quite say it like that.
Yeah,
it was a little more.
Did the radio version of it there.
Yeah.
So I convinced her to at least come up on the top deck. And they gave her a bucket, and she sat up there. We were supposed to be out for 8 hours. Turns out we were only out for 5 hours. And Heidi was puking for 4 hours.
The entire time.
The first hour, you were a champ.
Yeah.
The last 20 minutes, you were pretty darn good, too. But
it turned pretty darn quick.
This is my favorite part of this story, because so far, it's just been, okay, you went fishing and Heidi got sick. No, here's the best part. So we get on shore. We're driving back. Heidi's talking to Ryan, the one that lined this whole thing up. And she said, he was saying, hey, you guys get a little bit of a refund because you weren't out as long, or for whatever reason, he was going to give us some money back. And she said, you might want to
you might want to hang on to that because there may be a cleaning fee.
and he's like, no, there's not going to be a cleaning fee. It's all fine. And she's like, yeah, but I got sick all over his boat. She's like, no, that happens all the time. She's like, probably not this way. When she went down into the bathroom, before she got into the bathroom, like the door was locked, and she saw a sink. So she lifts up the lid on this sink and pukes in the sink. And then she realizes that's where like the captain's log is and their cell phones and all of their personal items. And you barfed in her how many times?
3 times. I couldn't get in the bathroom and I was stuck down in this lower level.
And in her defense, she'd already puked in there once. It's not like you're going to puke in another place. It's like, well, I've already done this. It was bad.
It was really bad.
So, by the way, if you're having breakfast right now, thank you for continuing to listen. Probably should have come with a warning, shouldn't it? So, Heidi's not going to be a deep sea diver anytime soon, are you? Or
no.
deep
I will
sea
never
fisherman.
cruise. I will never, ever again am I going on or in.
And the best part is
ocean.
we're on this boat with 2 doctors who were giving her all kinds of things. Oh, hey, you
they
need this.
gave
for...
me prescription.
Yeah, here's
medication.
motion sickness.
It was not
Here's
working.
this. Take this. Put this patch here. And Heidi's
so bad.
I had no patches, no prescriptions, no nothing. I was just fine. So it was a ton of fun. And Heidi, thank you for being a good sport.
Oh yeah, it was awesome.
You want to go fishing? I would encourage you to join us, folks, if you have the opportunity next year.
Not for the fishing.
Yeah, we're not going to do the fishing thing. We're going to maybe go check out Monkey Island.
Oh yeah, I'll go.
Oh wait, that's not. We're not going to be in Punta Cana.
We're
next
not,
year.
are we?
Yeah, so we'll have to figure out what the excursions are. But we'll have to go on an excursion next year. And next year it's going to be in Mexico. It's going to be in a whole different resort, whole different location. A little more affordable to get there as well. I would love it if you would join us. All of the details at 80sinthesand.com.